Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with the chapter Tiger King, which is the second chapter of your book, Vistas. This story, Tiger King, is written by Kalki. It is a story which the author has presented through humor, and he has also presented, kept in the satire at certain point. So, this story is actually a satire, a satire on the attitude of people in power. The people who are in power, they act according to their whims and desires. It is a satire on attitude of princely states during British period. During British period, most of the princely states, they wanted to act like the Britishers, and so they tried to do the ways, follow the ways the Englishmen or the Britishers used to do. The story is a satire on astrologers and their predictions, and most of you know about the astrologers, the way they do their predictions, and how they try to justify it. It is a satire on doctors. The doctors who are more interested in finding the ailment rather than the cure. And finally, it is a satire on callous. Callous means heartless, cruel attitude of human beings towards wildlife. And we all know, because of this cruel, callous attitude of human beings, the wildlife has experienced the biggest setback, that many of the species have become extinct. So, in a whole, the story deals on satirizing these all aspects: attitude of people in power, attitude of princely states during British period, astrologers and their predictions, doctors, and callous attitude of human being towards wildlife. Now this story, when we read, we see that the author has adopted a style. A style, it seems that author is sitting in front of us, the narrator is sitting in front of us, and the narrator is narrating the whole story to us. So it is just like a conversation which the style which has been adopted by the author. So let us begin with the story. The story begins with the Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram is the hero of this story. Now the very beginning of the story is a satire. Just look at it. He may be identified as His Highness Jamidar General Kiledar Major Satyavyagra Samhari Maharaja Dhiraj Vishwabhuvan Samrat Sir Jilani Jang Bahadur MAD SCTC or CRCK, whatever it is. Now if you look at the whole name, I've highlighted it over here. A belief that longer the name, greater the personality. That is what is the general human behavior. Even today, in the modern days, we may find certain people, you may find the banners Sri 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 1008, so and so, Ved Pathi, Ved Gyata, and so on, and in the end, the small name written somewhere. So, the prefixes and suffixes attached to it. So, just look at the name. His Highness Jamidar General. These were the various titles which were given by the Britishers. Kiledar Major, Satyavyagra Samhari, Maharaja Dhiraj, Vishwabhuvan Samrat, Sir Jilani Jang Bahadur, MAD, ACTC or CRCK, even it could have been RATPIG, even you can just understand. But then the narrator says that this name is often shortened to Tiger King. And now narrator says that he has come forward to tell the story that how this gentleman was come to be known as Tiger King. And he says that if he has once decided to tell what was the reason behind this man being called as Tiger King, he has no intention of taking a retreat. No force would make him retreat his, what you can say, steps. He will tell the story till the end. And that's why he says that he has no reason to stop the story anywhere. He says that no force can stop him from narrating the whole story. He gives the example of Stuka bomber, that even the threat of a Stuka bomber will not throw me off. And if Stuka decides, it can go back, but he will not stop from telling the story. But then he says that it is very imperative. Imperative means very, very important. In the beginning of the story, because he says that anyone who reads or hears about the Tiger King certainly will have a desire to meet a man of such an indomitable courage, indomitable, adamya, which cannot be suppressed, indomitable courage, to meet this man face to face. But then he says that it is not possible. Why it is not possible? Because he says, as Bharat said to Ram about the Tiger King has reached the final abode of all the human beings. Now look at the way, the pattern the narrator is talking to us. Like Bharat said to Ram about Dasarath, that the Tiger King has, in the same manner, the Tiger King has reached the final abode of all the human beings. Means what Bharat informed Dasarath, Bharat informed Ram about Dasarath, that King Dasarath was no more. He was dead. And that is what he's saying. Look at the style. He says, in other words, the Tiger King is dead. Now, he further says, the manner of his death is a matter of extraordinary interest. Now, this is another style, another pattern of creating an interest in a story. And that's what he says, it can be revealed only at the end of the tale. Now, you begin to tell a story and then you say that, okay, fine, I will tell you the suspense at the end. Now, what will happen? Everyone will be attentive to the story. And similarly, the narrator says the same thing. What he says, the most fantastic aspect of his demise was that as soon as he was born, the astrologers had foretold that one day the Tiger King would actually have to die. Wonderful prediction, isn't it? Wonderful prediction. That when the Tiger King was born, the astrologers predicted that one day he will die. The satire on the prediction of the astrologers. Now what did the astrologers say? The child will grow up to become the warrior of the warrior, hero of the heroes, champion of the champions. But, as if they were trying to tell something, but there was a hesitation. And so they were assured, they were told that they should go on speaking. So what the astrologer said? This is a secret which should not be revealed at all. And yet we are forced to speak out. The child born under this star will one day have to meet its death. This is a secret, a mystery. It should not be revealed, but we are forced to reveal it. Forced to reveal it. And what is that? The child born will have to die one day. Wonderful, isn't it? Now at that very moment, another miracle took place when the astrologers predicted like that. An astonishing phrase emerged from the lips of the 10-day-old Jilani Jung Bahadur. Now who is this Jilani Jung Bahadur? Our own Tiger King. He was just 10 days old, not 10 years, not 10 months, just 10 days old. And he spoke. Can you just imagine a 10-day-old child speaking? But it spoke, "Oh, wise prophets." Now, it was unbelievable, incredulous. Everyone stood transfixed in stupefaction. Nobody was ready to believe it. Transfixed. Statue. No movement. Stupefaction. Completely shocked. Everyone was looking at each other. Everyone was surprised from where these words have come. They all knew that this 10-day-old child was speaking, but no one was ready to believe it. And then again that 10-day-old child spoke. Oh, wise prophets, it was I who spoke. And there was no time for any time, no ground for any doubt. It was the infant born 10 days ago who had enunciated the words so clearly. The chief astrologer took off his spectacles and gazed intently at the baby. Now this 10-day-old child, it started speaking that everyone who is born has to die someday. So, what is there in that prediction? There would be some substance in that prediction if you say that what will be the manner of that death. Now, this was really an astonishing thing that was happening. The chief astrologer placed his finger on his nose in wonder. A baby barely 10 days old opens its lips in speech. Not only that, it also raises intelligent questions, incredible, unbelievable. Just like the war bulletins issued by the war offices, which is more of the, what you can say, the devised news rather than the real fact. Finally, the chief astrologer, he started speaking that the prince was born in the hour of the bull and the tiger are enemies, therefore death comes from tiger. The manner of the death, the reason behind the death will be tiger, he explained. Now, you all may think that when that 10-day-old Jilani Jang Bahadur, he heard about tiger, he would have been shivering. But that is exactly what did not happen. Terrible growl came out of his lips. Let the tigers beware. Now this entire story is just a rumor which is very popular in Pratibandhupuram, but if we look back, there must have been some incident related to it, and then it has been exaggerated like that. Now, the crown prince Jang Bahadur grew taller and stronger day by day. No other miracle marked his childhood days apart from the event already described. The boy drank the milk of an English cow, was brought by an English nanny, tutored in English by an Englishman, saw nothing but English films, exactly as the crown princes of all the other Indian states did. Attitude, satire on the attitude of the princely states, copying the Britishers, trying to be the Britishers. Now when he became the age of the 20, he was handed over the crown, he became the king. But everyone in the kingdom remembered the astrologer's prediction, and the rumor gradually reached the Tiger King's, the Maharaja's ears. And during those times, Pratibandhupuram state had innumerable forests, and they had tigers in them. And Maharaja knew the old saying, you may kill even a cow in self-defense. That maybe you have to, if you have to kill a cow in self-defense, it is not a sin. So he certainly realized that there could be no objection to killing tigers in self-defense. And so Maharaja started on a tiger hunt. Maharaja killed his first tiger, and he was beyond the, what you can say, beyond measures, full of joy. He sent for the state astrologer and he showed him the test base. What do you say now? The astrologer said, Your Majesty, you may kill 99 tigers like that. But, and he stopped. So Tiger King said, but what? Speak without fear. So the state astrologer said, but you must be very careful with the hunted tiger. So the Tiger King said, what if the 100 tigers were also killed? Now, astrologer had no reply to that. So he started speaking incoherently without any, what you can say, logic, meaning, anything. Whatever came in his mouth, he just started speaking like that. Then I'll tear up all my books on astrology, set fire to them, and I shall cut off my tuft, crop my hair short, and become an insurance agent. But there was no connection between it. He just went on speaking. But what happened? From that day, it was celebration time for all the tigers inhabiting Pratibandhapuram. There's an irony in that. The narrator says that it was celebration time for all the tigers inhabiting Pratibandhapuram. But what was the reason? The thing was that the state banned tiger hunting by anyone except Maharaja. There was a ban on killing of the tigers. But why was that ban? That ban was just to ensure that there are enough number of tigers to be hunted by Maharaja. And so a proclamation, an order was passed that if anyone would try to even throw a stone at a tiger, his entire property would be confiscated by the state. Just look at the attitude of the people in power. They want to kill, the Tiger King wants to kill the tiger just to falsify the prediction. The people are not allowed to kill the tiger in self-protection. Now, Tiger King also took a vow that he will look after them all the matters only after he has killed the 100 tigers. And he started with his ambition. It is not that he did not face danger. Many a times the bullet missed the mark, and the Tiger King had to fight with the tigers bare-handed. But every time he was victorious. There were different dangers also. One time he was in the danger of losing his throne. It so happened that a high-ranking British officer was visited Pratibandhapuram. Now this British officer was very fond of hunting tigers and fonder of being photographed with the tigers he had shot. As usual, when he came on a visit to the Pratibandhapuram, he expressed his desire to hunt the tigers. The Maharaja was very, very determined in his resolve. He refused permission. He said, I can organize any other hunt. You may go on a boar hunt. You may conduct a mouse hunt. We are ready for a mosquito hunt. But tiger hunt, that's impossible. So, the British secretary tried to speak to Maharaja through Diwan that the king himself would kill the tiger. The British officer would not do the actual hunting. The Maharaja would do the actual hunting. The British officer would be happy with his photograph taken with the dead body of the tiger. But Maharaja even did not give this permission because he felt that if he gave this permission today, maybe tomorrow or other day, in future, the British officers would be coming and they would demand for something more. Now, this was a very crucial situation. A high-ranking British officer was on visit. His report would endanger Maharaja's kingship. So this was a matter of crisis. So Maharaja had a deliberation, a long discussion with Diwan, and finally they came up with a conclusion. What they did, they sent a telegram to the famous British Company of Jewelers in Calcutta, asking them to send some samples of expensive diamond rings. Now some 50 rings arrived. Now what did Maharaja do? He sent entire of this thing to the British officer's good lady. Now Maharaja was using a technique. I will just take a liberty of telling it in Hindi. If Sahib is not happy, take help of Mem Sahib. Huh? So king and the minister expected the Durai Sani, the lady, to choose one or two rings, and entire 50 rings were sent. Within no time, the reply came. Thank you very much for your gift. No ring was returned. The lady has taken all the 50 rings. Maharaja had to pay a bill of 3 lakh to the British jewelers, but he was happy. He was very happy because even though he had lost 3 lakh of rupees, he had managed to retain his kingdom. Anyway, it was not his money. It was public money which was spending. Now Maharaja's tiger hunt continued to be highly successful. Within 10 years, he was able to kill 70 tigers, and then an unforeseen hurdle had brought his mission to a standstill. The tiger populations became extinct in the forest of Pratibandhupuram. Who knows whether the tigers practiced birth control or committed harakiri, committed suicide, or simply ran away from the state because they desired to be shot by British hands only. They felt that in Pratibandhupuram they were killed by the Indians, they should move to other state where they would be killed by the British. Now one day Maharaj sent for the Diwan. And now look at this conversation. Diwan Sahib, aren't you aware of the fact that 30 tigers still remain to be shot down by this gun of mine? He asked. Brandishing his gun, he pointed his gun towards Diwan and asked that, aren't you aware? Have you forgotten? Now Diwan, who knew Maharaja very well, looked at the gun and he started shivering, shuddering. He said, Your Majesty, I am not a tiger. So Maharaja says, which idiot would call you a tiger? So Diwan, who was very much afraid, he did not know what to say. He said, No, I am not a gun. So Maharaja said, You are neither a tiger nor a gun. Diwan Sahib, I summoned you here for a different purpose. I have decided to get married. Now, before Maharaja could complete his entire statement, Diwan started speaking. He said, Your Majesty, I have 2 wives already if I marry you. I am already married. I have 2 wives. How can I marry you? So Maharaja said, Don't talk nonsense. Why should I marry you? Huh? What I want is a tiger. Now, see again. The Diwan did not let Maharaja complete his sentence. He started speaking. Your Majesty, please think it over. Your ancestors were married to the sword. If you like, marry the gun. A tiger king is more than enough for the state. It doesn't need a tiger queen as well. Maharaja could understand that the Diwan was nervous or something like that. He said that he had no intention of marrying any tiger or gun, but he wanted to marry some human being. So he asked Diwan to make a survey that which state, princely state, had larger number of tiger population and whether there was any suitable girl in that royal family. Diwan followed his orders. Right girl, found a right girl. Maharaja Jang Bahadur was married. Now every time he visited his father-in-law's kingdom, he killed 5 or 6 tigers. In this manner, 99 tiger skins adorn the walls of the reception hall in Pratibandhupuram Palace. Now just imagine, without any reason, 99 tigers were killed. 99 tigers. Callous attitude of human being towards wildlife. Now what happens when we are very near to the destination? We become very anxious. You must have experienced this many a time. Many of the time you must have been traveling in the train and the train stops at the outer post and it takes a longer duration. Now what sort of feeling? Same is the case with Maharaja. 99 tigers killed. Only 1 tiger remained. But what happened? There were no tigers in Pratibandhupuram. There were no tigers in his father-in-law's kingdom. Now just imagine, because of a whim of a man in power to just make a prediction false, resulted into extinction of tigers from two states. There were no tigers remaining. Now Maharaja just made said that if he could kill just one single beast, the Maharaja would have no fears left. He could give up tiger hunting altogether. Oh. What is the promise that he is making to himself? He could give up tiger hunting altogether. Where are the tigers? But he remembers the prediction made by the astrologer. He has to be extremely careful of the last tiger. True enough, the tiger was a savage beast after all. Now look at the irony over here. That Maharaja thinks that tiger was a savage beast. Who is savage? Tiger or the human being, the Maharaja, who has killed 99 tigers for nothing? But then it was really very difficult to find the tiger. Maharaja was sunk into a gloom. But very soon, happy news came which dispelled that gloom. In his own state, sheep began to disappear frequently from a hillside village. It was first ascertained, confirmed, that this was not the work of Khadar Mian Sahib or Veerasamy Naikar, both famed for their ability to swallow sheep whole. So it was confirmed, first of all, that it was really a work of a tiger, not of Khadar Mian Sahib or Veerasamy Naikar. Now they both were famous for gobbling up one whole sheep or goat at one time. Then the people did the research and it was found that surely a tiger was at work. The villagers ran to inform the Maharaja. Maharaja was so happy that he announced a 3-year exemption from all taxes for that village. He went to that village, camped over there. The tiger was not found. It seemed as if it had wantonly, as if trying to tease. It hid itself. But Maharaja was equally determined. He refused to leave the forest until the tiger was found. The days passed. No tiger found. Maharaja's fury and obstinacy, jit, akkadpana, mounted alarmingly. Many officers lost their job, and one day when his anger was at its height, Satveं Asman pe, the Maharaja called the Diwan and ordered him to double the land tax forthwith. Now just look at it. The attitude of the people in the power. Happy, exemption from tax. Anger, double the tax. But the Diwan tried to reason it out with him, saying that this will make the people dissatisfied and his state will also become the part of the Indian National Congress. Now here we see, we are now into the part of the India after independence. Earlier the thing was before independence. Now in that case it is in the situation of India after independence. But Maharaja was not in a mood to listen to anything. He said that if you can't do it, you can resign. Diwan was very much convinced that if no solution is found soon, the results would be catastrophic, destructive. When he reached home and he looked at the tiger which he had bought from the People's Park in Madras and kept hidden in his house, People's Park from the zoo, maybe Diwan had an idea that the king was killing all the tigers. There will be no tigers left. So later on, he could use that tiger as a business by showing it to the others. And maybe for that reason, he must have bought that tiger and kept it hidden in his house. And when he returned, he saw that tiger. There was a relief for him. Now at the midnight, he and his old wife, they both dragged the tiger to the car and tried to push it, shove it into the street. The Diwan himself drove the car straight to the forest where the Maharaja was hastening. When they reached the forest, the tiger launched its satyagraha, Andolan, refused to get out of the car. Maybe that soft seat of the car was very pleasant for the tiger. Now Diwan was thoroughly exhausted in his efforts to pull that beast out of the car and push it down. On the following day, the same old tiger wandered into the Maharaja's presence and stood as if in humble supplication. Master, what do you command of me? Now when Maharaja looked at that tiger, he was very happy. He took the careful aim, shot. The tiger fell down. Maharaja said that his vow has been completed. He was completely overjoyed. He ordered to the people to bring that dead tiger in a form of grand procession, julus. And Maharaja went earlier to inform his family members. Now after the Maharaja left, the hunters went to take a closer look at the tiger. Now while they were looking at the tiger also opened its eye, confused, bafflement. Now these hunters, they realized the tiger was not dead, the bullet had missed it. Now what had happened? This tiger was an old tiger, and the sound of the bullet was too much for it. It had fainted. It had fainted. But then the hunters, they did not know what to do, because they felt that if they would inform the king, they may lose their job. So they decided that they would not inform the king. They took an aim from very close and shot, and this time there was no mistake. The tiger died. And as ordered, as commanded, the tiger was taken in procession through the town and buried. A tomb was erected over it. A few days later, it was Maharaja's son's third birthday. All these years, Maharaja was busy in his mission of completing his hunting of 100 tigers. Now he decided that he would buy some proper gifts, so he went to the shopping complex of Pratibandhapuram. He went around everywhere. He could not find any gift appropriate. Finally, he spotted a wooden tiger in a toy shop and decided that it was a perfect gift. Now this wooden tiger cost only 2 annas and a quarter. 2 annas, 1 anna 6 paisa. So 2 annas and a quarter is roughly around 14 to 15 paisa. But the shopkeeper knew that if he quoted such a low price to Maharaja, he would be punished under the rules of emergency. But the shopkeeper was afraid that he will tell to Maharaja that it was of such a low price. Maybe Maharaja would punish him, saying that why he was selling the thing so cheap. So he said, Your Majesty, this is an extremely rare example of craftsmanship. A bargain at 300 rupees. Now just see, 15 paisa article. The shopkeeper is quoting 300 rupees. Maharaja was very happy. He said, Very good. Let this be your offering to the crown prince on his birthday, said the king, and took it away. Now look at this line. Let this be your offering to the crown prince on his birthday. Maharaja had no intention to pay any price. But then, why was he asking the price? A satisfaction that he was buying something costly. On that day, father and son played with that tiny little wooden tiger. It had been carved by an unskilled carpenter. Its surface was rough. Tiny slivers of wood stood up like quills all over it. One of those slivers pierced the Maharaja's sliver. Now remember here, it is sliver, not silver. Sliver. When you put your hand on the rough surface of the wood, sometimes you feel a small piece of something piercing your finger. That is called sliver. One of those slivers pierced Maharaja's right hand. He pulled it out with his left hand and continued to play with the prince. The next day, infection flared in the Maharaja's right hand. In 4 days, it developed into a suffocating sore, which spread all over the arm. 3 famous surgeons were brought in from Madras. After holding a consultation, they decided to operate. The operation took place. The 3 surgeons who performed it came out of the theatre and announced, the operation was successful. The Maharaja is dead. Satire on the doctors. They were happy with the ailment found rather than concerned about saving the life of the patient. Now, in this manner, the hunted tiger took its final revenge upon the tiger. Now, in this story, there are certain ironies. Firstly, there is irony in the death of the Tiger King. The king who killed 99 tigers, many of them barehanded, died because of a wooden tiger. Secondly, there is dramatic irony. So, what is dramatic irony? So, let us first understand what is dramatic irony. Dramatic irony occurs when the audience knows something that is going on in a situation, the characters are unaware of what is going on. Similarly, in this story, the Tiger King felt that he had killed the hunted tiger. But as a reader, we know that the hunted tiger was not killed by him, but by his hunters. This is the dramatic irony. So, this was the story, Tiger King, and this was the explanation of the story.